Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what happened?
My company works on the river. I have just found a dead body. I believe it to be Riley.
We're just now learning that the body found in the Cumberland River is confirmed to be Riley Strain, the missing University of Missouri college student.
That's right.
He was drinking a rum and coke and it didn't taste good. And I said, well, you probably shouldn't drink it then. He goes, well, it tastes like barbecue. And I go, well, that sounds awful. And he said, there's something going on in that town.
Welcome back to the channel, everybody, where we cover true crime mystery to the missing. Riley Strain went to a few bars on the night of Friday, March 8th in Nashville, Tennessee. After being kicked out of Luke 32's bar, he wandered off in the wrong direction and ultimately ended up in the Cumberland River, and sadly, he was found 2 weeks later, approximately 6 miles downstream. The cause of death, according to the medical examiner, accidental drowning. But many wondered, including his family, if Riley could have been drugged at one of these bars, considering that he was stumbling around running into poles and clearly not himself. Recently, Riley Strain's parents went on News Nation to drop new bombshells in his case.
He had sent me a text and said that he had he was drinking a rum and coke and it didn't taste good. And I said, well, you probably shouldn't drink it then. He goes, well, it tastes like barbecue. And I go, well, that sounds awful. And he said, well, it sounds good, but it's not. And
do you think that could have something to do with what happened?
Yeah, maybe there was something in it that shouldn't have been.
I mean, even if there wasn't foul play at the river, but if something happened in the bar, that's the kind of thing that could hurt someone else.
Exactly.
From the stories that we've been told from Uber drivers and just different individuals that reached out to us that either happened to a family member or happened to them in Nashville, there's something there.
There's something going on in that town.
It just feels like it just feels like you come up to a stopping point. Every time we get somewhere, it just feels like there's something holding everybody back from fully giving us what we need, and there's just something there. There is something.
You know, they're still telling us it's an accident. Fine. Show me the proof that you have that it's an accident. You know, I'll accept it.
I did look up some of the common drugs used, and many say that they are odorless and tasteless, but that still doesn't mean that something could have been done to his drink. I'd imagine it's possible that word gets out about these formals through social media, and could this lure others with bad intentions? The parents also go on to say that the fraternity brothers did not contact the police right away when Riley didn't show up, and even worse, they didn't help in any search efforts and went to the formal instead.
Why wouldn't they have called the police when they got back at 3:15 in the morning and didn't see him then?
So 7 or 8 hours had gone by from the time they got back to the hotel to when they called you. Do you have any idea why they didn't call the police until then?
I don't know.
We called them on the way down, and it was probably close to 12 o'clock, and they were just going to the sheriff's detention center, to the sheriff's office to report him missing. That was probably 12:15, 12:30, somewhere in there.
So 2 more hours had gone by from the initial call.
Yeah.
They still hadn't gone to the police.
Yeah, 14 hours after his last ping over his phone was. Finished filling out the report. So we completed that, and the boys stayed out for a while, and then they all of a sudden disappeared, all of the boys, and they ended up back out a little while later in their dress clothes to go out to their formal that night.
They went to the formal?
Yeah. High school. We spent the next 4.5 hours searching every emergency room to see if he was in the hospital. We come back and they're coming back, some of them from the party, and they're waving at us as we're sitting in the truck. How's that make you feel?
To make matters even more bizarre about this nightmare the friends and family of Riley Strain were going through is that they received a letter about what went on in the hotel that night. And it clearly seems as though many of the fraternity brothers were upset about something. Keep in mind, Riley Strain hadn't been reported to the police at this point.
You all received a letter from someone else who was staying at the same hotel who described a little bit of what they heard that night that Riley went missing. I just want to read part of it. At first I thought it was a bunch of drunk college kids being jealous of girlfriend-boyfriend stuff, but it was too loud and went on too long. They were in halls. I could hear them between the walls. The doors for the hotel rooms are very heavy, so they slam when you let them shut. I woke up at 3:15 a.m. to numerous doors slamming, kids in the hall, both boys and girls, having very loud discussions, going back and forth from rooms multiple times. It was like new kids kept showing up on the floor during the entire period. These kids were freaking out about something. Were you ever able to find out what was going on in the hotel that night?
From one of the friends that I talked to this week, apparently he had hurt his hand that night. Didn't really specify what he had done, but apparently it had to do with a hurt hand that night.
As of now, they are still waiting on the toxicology report, which can take several weeks to months to come back. They also claim whatever happened to Riley in his last moments before going into the river may have been captured on one or more surveillance cameras nearby that haven't been released to the family yet. If there's any more information, we will go live about it. Please share your thoughts in the comments below. Hit that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and thank you so much for watching.